Hello, my name is Andrew Shaw. I'm a school counselor and director of wellness. I'm happy to share with you some information about our wellness programs here at St. Francis, what we've been developing and offering over the past 5 years, and also specifically some things that we are doing to support student wellness during this time of online learning. We know that even before the many challenges and stressors of this past year, there's been a growing mental health crisis amongst adolescents and young adults. Over the last several years, there has been a dramatic rise in mental health issues in teens. From stress and anxiety to depression and suicide, the statistics are clear and really sobering. Now you add in an unprecedented global pandemic and all of the stress that has come with it these past several months. You can see some of the stats related to the impact of COVID on mental distress. And this is especially true for teens and young adults. Online learning is challenging. We know this, it's not ideal. And kids are really missing out on their outlets, their activities, and their friends. In order to address this problem, about 5 years ago, we began developing wellness-oriented programs at St. Francis. We utilize a wellness model as our guiding framework. Wellness is about choices and actions that lead to greater health and happiness. It's a preventative approach, meaning we try to take proactive steps to improve our health and well-being, to prevent serious problems or disease from occurring. It's also holistic and integrative. So there are these multiple interconnected components to our wellness and our functioning. So when we focus on doing healthy things in all of these areas, it can lead to greater well-being, greater health, greater happiness. Then we use these key areas of focus here on the right to deliver programs and services to the St. Francis community that will support and promote wellness. We also come at the problem from both a micro or a personal level and also from a macro or systemic level. So how can we support individual students, build relationships, help them thrive, and also what are the larger barriers or factors that impact wellness that we need to address at the larger school-wide level in terms of our systems, policies, and procedures. So each of these focus areas integrates sort of that both micro and macro level approach to it. Talking first about relationship, really everything centers on relationship. It's a core mission of our school to build community and family. So from relational teaching to the deep connection students make with coaches, friars, counselors, teachers, club moderators, and so forth, relationship and connection is really at the heart of everything we do here. Then next, in terms of screening, as I mentioned before, regarding the recent teen mental health trends, we really have to be more proactive now in terms of how we assess how students are doing mentally and emotionally. In this unique time of online learning, it's even more critical to check in with students because we are not able to gauge how they are doing the way we would if we were all on campus. So we use both informal and more formal screening. So teachers are really doing more wellness checks. They're trying to check in with their students to kind of see how they're doing socially and emotionally. That relationship piece again is really critical since they hopefully are building relationships. They know their students better and they know when maybe something is off and then they can make a referral to get them support if needed. And from a counseling approach, we're trying to do more formal screening and assessment to determine who may be struggling and in need of more support. Next, in terms of specific counseling programs and counseling services, I wanted to highlight a couple of things. We continue to provide one-on-one counseling during remote virtual learning. Obviously, our one-on-one counseling is all being done virtually as well. So we're using HIPAA-compliant Zoom platform as well as telehealth platforms that are HIPAA-compliant to protect confidentiality. And we are still offering and meeting with students one-on-one. In addition to this, something that we've added this year in response to the challenges of online learning and sort of the mental distress that's being impacted by online learning, we've offered some support groups. These are weekly groups, and they meet every week. We have them going after school on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And these, like I said, are continuously running, and students can drop into these groups when they want to. Mindfulness Mondays is students have the opportunity to learn and practice mindfulness-based stress reduction techniques, which has been shown to reduce stress and anxiety, boost mood, boost resiliency. Then we have Wellness Wednesdays. Each week emphasizes a different important topic related to health and wellness, and provides strategies and tips to help students improve their functioning, their self-care, and their coping skills. And then finally, we have Fellowship Fridays. This is sort of the most open forum format of the three. This weekly support group provides a consistent space for students to come together and connect at the end of the school week, to talk about how they're doing, to share their challenges and any concerns that they have, and then increase their social support so they can receive and give emotional support to each other. They are able to sign up for these support groups by going to the respective Google Classroom. We have a Google Classroom set up for each of these support groups. They can register and sign up there, and then each of them has their own Google Meet where we're doing the meeting online that way. Now, if and when we're able to come back to campus, we can very easily pivot to offering these groups in person. But for now, we're doing that through a Google Meet. This is just a slide that gives some information about Mindful SF, about the Mindfulness Mondays. And this is an example of just one of the things that we're doing in terms of wellness, wellness programming. And what we do on Wellness Wednesdays is kind of go through, these different techniques and strategies and tips. This is also something that we talked about in our annual wellness assembly. This was a few weeks ago, school-wide assembly where we come together and talk about wellness. And we're using this, this framework, this acronym MAGIC: mindfulness, activeness, gratitude, investment, and connection, and encouraging students to practice these different areas. We know that these are all scientifically validated, scientifically proven to increase wellness, improve health, and increase happiness. So these are 5 ways to improve wellness that we're focusing and emphasizing a lot this year with students. Going back to the last couple of focus areas, support and resources. So I mentioned support, it really is a much wider and deeper thing than just the counseling services that we provide. Whether it's student activities, campus ministry, teachers and coaches, every department, every staff member, every faculty member is engaged in supporting students. So the focus is not just on academic success, it's about students' well-being and their personal development. I'm really proud to say that this is a core part of who we are, caring for students and supporting them holistically. And in terms of resources, obviously we really need to meet students where they are at currently, that's online. So we're trying to really push resources to students on a regular basis. So we can use K-Night, which is our student news program, and other school media to deliver health information and education. And here's just a few examples of some of the resources, online resources that we're using, that we're encouraging our students to use in terms of wellness, in terms of self-care. Another resource that students have access to, actually any members of the St. Francis community can access this. It's called Nights Care, something that we developed several years ago as a way to identify any students that we may be concerned about. Maybe they're in distress, or maybe they're having a hard time. This is something that students can go to. They can access this from our St. Francis website under the counseling page, and it allows them to submit a form to the counseling office. We call it Knights Care, where they can identify a student that they may be concerned about, explain why they're concerned about them, and then it submits an alert to the counseling office. This is confidential. It also can be submitted anonymously if needed. And this sends an alert to the counseling office, and then we can reach out to that student of concern to make sure that they're okay and to offer further support. We also, in terms of wellness, are trying to do a lot regarding standing up to stigma around mental illness and mental health issues. So we're really trying to do a lot in terms of education, raising awareness, especially at an all-boys school, where sometimes it can be seen as weakness to talk about emotions or mental health. We're really trying to stand up to that idea and give students, give boys permission to talk about their emotions and to ask for help when they need it, to let them know that that actually is strength when they do that. Our teachers, our coaches really model this. And we also have a lot of peer-to-peer messaging about standing up to stigma. So for example, our LINK program, which is sort of like our Big Brother program, provides a lot of mental health and wellness coaching to freshmen throughout their freshman year. And then finally, we can't really address student wellness unless we're involving parents. Involving parents is so critical to make sure that students are healthy and well. So we offer quite a few programs and resources specifically for our parents in terms of education and support for them. We have larger forums with expert guest speakers that we bring in multiple times throughout the year to present on teen relevant topics. There's an example of one on the screen here. We also have smaller groups, 6-week or 6-session parenting classes or parenting support group that we offer multiple times throughout the year. And parents can register and sign up for this, and gives them an opportunity to come together and talk in a smaller format to learn different things that are important for parenting teens, and also to support each other and to get support. And then finally, we always have counseling and consultation to parents to help them with any of the issues they may be having with their sons. So I hope this gives you an overview of some of the things we are doing at St. Francis to support and promote student wellness. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to follow up with you personally at a later time. Just want to thank you so much for listening, and stay well.